He's the root of David, not the offspring. They're trying to make this a son of David.
Right.
See what they did?
Yeah. To justify their lie.
Justify their lie. And so we go read it like Adam revealed it to me. And I, Adam, have sent by Malik to touch my angel. Malik is messenger.
Yes, sir.
To testify unto you these things I have told you in the Kiyashayim, which is the temple. We don't have churches. Like, I don't know if I revealed it to the world, but we're talking about the church is a female deity. Kirk.
Kirk, yes, sir.
You take the CH as a K. CH at the beginning of church and CH at the end of church.
Yes, sir.
Make that a K like it is.
Yes,
like
sir.
Malik is a K, it is CH in my name.
Yes, sir.
So CH is still a K. So when you look at churches saying Kirk, Kirk is a female deity that they worship. When you walk in there, they come out of her. Come out of that female deity. That's why it's full of women.
Yes, sir.
It's an infeminine deity that he told us to come out. So that's this church. We don't have that.
Yes,
and we don't have synagogues.
Yes,
synagogues is perverted. It's to ejaculate. That's what the word means. Sin is one, the word sin.
In that word.
Nagog is to ejaculate.
That's crazy.
Something to come forth. And you know they ejaculate on little boys. They rabbis, when a child is born, they circumcise. They put their mouth on it and suck it out. That's what they do.
That's crazy.
For Jewish parents, the bris is one of the first religious rites for their baby boys, a circumcision. But there's one kind of bris in ultra-Orthodox communities that's causing some alarm. The practice is called masitza b'peh, where a moil uses his mouth to suck blood away from the baby boy's genitals after circumcision. Problem is, the Centers for Disease Control released a recent study showing 11 New York City babies got herpes after this kind of bris between 2000 and 2011. 2 died and 2 suffered brain damage. This Brooklyn man with 50 grandchildren is still not concerned.
But you can't change the tradition that we have for thousands and thousands of years because something happened.
Do you think that moils should be tested for herpes before they perform that bris?
I'm not a rabbi, I can't answer you that question.
Last September, a Brooklyn boy who was only 2 weeks old died here at Maimonides Medical Center just a few days after he underwent the circumcision ritual. The medical examiner later ruled that he died of herpes simplex virus type 1. And just last
and the children got herpes from it. Some of them died from it. They still do it to this day. It's ejaculate. That's what synagogue is talking about. We don't have synagogues. Never have. The false Jews have synagogue. They think we have synagogue. That's why they call it synagogue of Satan. Because his ways are demonic and perverted. And perverted. I got a video where the good guy was talking about how they lay with little boys at 3 years old. Little girls at 3 years old. And you didn't defile them. They're still virgins.
That's crazy.
And that's what he's talking about. That's why he calls it the synagogue of Satan. And I'm going to play that video too. So watch this video. At their own mouth, they teach you what the Talmud teaches.
Yes, sir.
In 3 of the major treatises of the Talmud are found extensive passages which give legal endorsement to seduce and marry 3-year-old baby girls. In fact, many of the greatest rabbis of the Talmud, including Simeon ben Yochai, upheld this privilege. Today in Israel, thousands of Jews go to Meron every year to venerate the memory of Simeon ben Yochai, one of the most respected rabbis in the history of Judaism.
In one of dozens of endorsements of child sex, Simeon ben Yochai said, "A proselyte under the age of 3 years and a day is permitted to marry a priest." Agreeing with ben Yochai, the great Rabbah said, "When a grown-up man has intercourse with a little girl, it is nothing, for when the girl is less than this, 3 years and a day, it is as if one put the finger into the eye." The footnote to this passage says, "As tears come to the eye again and again, so does virginity come back to the little girl under 3 years." The same section confirms that sexual activity with small boys is in the same category. The intercourse of a small boy is not regarded as a sexual act.
So that we've seen that. We don't have temples. Now we say, I am the root of David, Dawood. The bright and light breaking through the darkness star.
Yes, sir.
That's what he said. He's the root of David, like he's the root of all of us.
Yes, sir.
He's the root of all of us that ever come. But they say the root of David. An offspring. That's a child.
Right. How can he be the offspring and he before David?
That's what, yes.
Right.
Because Jesus don't exist. Mount Horeb means sun, means star. He was standing with the star, and right there Moses, and Horeb. That's what the word means. Horeb with an H or Horeb with an O.
Right.
It means a star, a glowing, bright star or sun. That's what he stood in. Is Sinai.
Right.
The name that was given from the Mesopotamians, that they worshiped a deity, God the moon. So this we talking the moon god.
Yeah, again.
The greater light is Adam. They're standing in the mountain. So this is talking before Moses come. The greater and least light is the Mount Horeb, where Moses stood in. And I named my son because I stood that same mountain talking to Adam. Horeb is a glowing star. That's what it means. He stood in the glowing star, the sun, and gave us the commandments. And they turned around and called it Sinai.
Right.
So you hear Sinai, most people never heard of Horeb.
Right, yeah.
I had to tell my son what it was, because they never heard of it. Most people never seen it. Well, I'm saying that could be brand new to them.
Right.
But it's in the book. But they call it, everywhere you go look, someone called Sinai.
Wow.
And it's a pagan, Mesopotamian, ancient deity, the moon. So they're talking about the moon god right there, Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir.
He's the moon god. The moon represents him, and he represents Islam too.
Yeah.
They got a moon and a star.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sure do.
You see what I'm saying? Because he's a star, but the moon. Because they're the same thing, man. They lie to people. They're the same thing, dude. That's what I keep telling everybody. We worship the same God. Y'all are, but we not.
Right.
But they, by design, Israeli don't mean Israelite.
No.
And they did that by design. Because if you back then, you'd have did it. What people saying that you saying you're the ancient children, you couldn't have got away with it.
No.
Because too many people knew it. They know you not. Right now, 75 years, because they only been 75 years. We acting like that's been a long time.
Right. No,
they just start calling that, and they started in 1933. They're trying to act like they just start going into Palestine in 48.
Right.
They were shipping them in there in 1933. Years before they took the land.
Yes, sir.
They were shipping them in there in 1933. Running them people out of there. And telling them what they did in 48. In 75 years, you have lied to the whole world that you Israel now. And you Israelis.
Right.
And I hear people ignorantly call them Israelites. And they won't even call themselves Israelites.
No.
But they came and snuck in there and called themselves Israelis. And the cold part about it, as we go through the show, they're not even what they claim to be. You know how they came to be Khazars?
Yeah, right.
They're not Khazars. No. I'm going to teach you. In my book, Who is Jesus, I tell you. They're trying to claim that because that's a people that you could talk about. That's in the scripture.
Right.
They're not that. They are those serpents that went on that boat. Them two, the male, unclean male, and the unclean female. That's why they don't want to take that test.
Right.
And they try to act like they test everybody. And them Gentiles go and take the test. I'm Khazar, just like everybody said. A lot of them find not that. But they know our bloodline don't match that. And nobody even know that. They don't care about you finding I'm a Khazar. Like the Gentiles said, yes, that's a fact.
Right.
One dude, have you seen the video?
Are you familiar with the Khazar theory? There's a theory, it's widely accepted as anti-Semitic, that Ashkenazi Jews come from the Khazars and they're not Levantine. But DNA tests.
It's not anti-Semitic. It's a question of fact. So Shlomo Sand, for example, has argued that, I think probably exaggerated, but it's simply a question of fact. If my ancestors from the Ukraine have Khazar roots, changes nothing. I'm Jewish. My grandfather was Jewish. My family happens to have a story saying that we're descended from the Baal Shem Tov. Okay, that's part of the culture. Doesn't matter what the DNA shows. We live, this is a point that Ahad Ha'am made over a century ago in his lectures on the two Moseses. He says, yes, there's a Moses of history, who may have existed, may not have existed. There's a Moses of culture, and that exists as a cultural phenomenon. And it's the cultural phenomenon within our cultural tradition whoever Moses might have been, and if he even existed. Yes, that's true. We live in a world of cultural traditions. Makes no difference what the DNA says. So, okay, if the DNA says we're not descended from the Baal Shem Tov, hence back to King David, but we're descended from somebody in the Caucasus, makes absolutely no difference to our identity.
Yes,
And it's
sir.
up to
Yes,
God
sir.
to say, no, that's a fact, we not. But we have became now.
Right.
Because y'all lied long enough,
Lied long.
intimidated, scared, killed, just like you're doing right now, for people to accept it, bow down and accept it.